Welcome back to Gil's Arena, presented by Underdog Fantasy. Whoa, whoa!
It's this thing back. We just stole it.
Okay.
It's like a new wave Arsenio Hall. We took where Arsenio Hall walked, we run. But back here with the living legend, Gilbert Arenas.
What's happening?
Got Brandon Jennings, fresh and building off his Milwaukee trip.
Sure.
And we got a special guest today, repping Ball Don't Stop, known as the Casual Slayer, Akam Nagra.
Yes, he got it.
Okay, he got it. He got it. He got it.
Thank you.
I always try to strive to pronounce the names correctly.
Thank
I'm not
you.
going to
It's hard,
I'm not going to water it down or colonize it. I'm going to say it how it's meant to be said. And for all y'all watching out there in the Underdog Fantasy world, we appreciate you. Make sure you download the app. You can use promo code GIL, and they will match your first deposit up to $100.
Yeah.
How you been getting cooked or you been winning?
Cooked.
I've been doing all right. Jordan Hawkins let me down last night in the Natty game, but we're not going to talk about that.
Cooked. Man, NBA players is trash when it comes to making
Oh,
bets.
for sure. They betray
Making
you
picks.
all the time. Hey, we got some breaking news too, though, Gil. The show is going live starting next Tuesday, 11:30 a.m. Pacific, 2:30 p.m. Eastern. You see the graphic.
Yes,
Tuesday
sir.
to Thursday. We got all the technical stuff figured out. We're going to be live. So y'all got to pull up just a little bit earlier. No, a lot of y'all ain't doing shit anyway, so come on through, hang out with us. Before we get into the meat of the show, gotta hit you first. Obviously, Ball Don't Stop, one of the most polarizing accounts on Twitter. I see you all the time popping up in my feed. You know, interesting opinions. I agree with some, don't agree with others, but that's a part of the basketball discourse. But I want to know, what opinion has gotten you cooked the most by casuals?
There's been two. And Gil knows like where I come from, but I miss word shit sometimes. And how I deliver it sometimes can be off. Years ago when Giannis was struggling, I felt like he was operating like a wing when he should have been in the post, when he should have been playing bully ball. That was his game. And I remember he would have awkward moments where he was just stuck on the perimeter, right? What that did is it put me in a position where I'm like, okay, he's not a wing, but I got to treat him like a wing because, you know, in a way, he's coming downhill, he's playing at the top. So I was like, you know, if that's the route the Bucks are going, you might have to replace him and get a real wing. And I'm like, you know, someone asked me about Zach LaVine. I don't know how the convo came up, but they're like, who would you rather have? I said to close the game, in terms of a closer, Zach every time. On the fact that, you know, and this is before Middleton had took on the onus of being that guy, being the closer, right? I was like, the Bucks closer needs to be Zach LaVine because he's going to go break you down. He's going to make shots when the pressure's high in the playoffs. And it just got taken away where folks felt like I was saying that Zach's the better player.
Yeah.
When I was really saying if the perimeter player is what you need as your closer, it's got to be Zach in that scenario. What ultimately ended up happening is Chris Middleton leveled up his game, and then they got over that hump. And Giannis ended up, you know, going to his bread and butter, which was more down low, which was playing off of Chris and not having to be the guy that's awkward being sagged off of. But that shit got me fucking cooked. You know, to this day, like, you know, you got to remember there's people that are still to this day mentioning that. You know, I could do the craziest breakdown. They're like, fuck this guy. He says Zach LaVine's better than Giannis to this day.
What's so funny is my take was worse. I made a take, and when I first seen him, I was like, oh, he's like a Karolinko. I was like, he's an Andre Karolinko. Everybody, I'm like, God, what was I thinking? It was just horrible.
I know.
It happens, right? Yeah, fucking shit happens.
It happens.
I mean, that's the thing. I think on the outside world, people will take shit, run with it, and like you say, years later, still try to use it against you.
I know.
But we getting this money, so what y'all gonna do about that? And Gil, got to give a shout out to your son, Elijah. Picked up multiple scholarship offers. He was over at the USA camp doing his thing.
He's cold.
Okay.
He got Kansas. He got Texas. So how proud are you as a dad?
Nevada.
Okay, lay us on it.
And New Mexico. So Nevada just came today.
So can I add something? The thing about his son, he don't look like an NBA player's son when he plays, because he's out there hungry. I watch him, and you can't tell, like, you know, he comes from, because a lot of guys, like, and, you know, no disrespect to those guys, they come up in a scenario where they have it all, right? And they're comfortable. They've seen the peak. NBA players come to their house. Like, they're not fazed by that shit. When I see Elijah play, like, and I really study his game, he's playing with that chip on his shoulder, and that's really hard to tap into when you've come up that way. So
Now, we talked about it on a show, I think last week or the week before, about guys who were coming from pain and the guys who were coming from privilege. And
Well, I can't take credit for that. I got to give that to Coach Darryl McDonald from the Cavs AAU program. He don't care about nobody's name, and he holds players accountable. So when you're talking about development and not wanting pansies as your children, you no, serious. You give them to him because he's going to make sure they're accountable. So, when Elijah first started, he crying on the bench because of Coach yelling, cussing him out and this. And, he'll take that, black shirt away from him if he misses practice, if he's late. So Elijah got used to calling, like, hey, I might be 3 minutes late or I might be 5 minutes late. It looks like there's traffic. And I'm like, he's holding you accountable to be great. So he only knows how to run through walls. Darryl say run through the wall. He's just gonna say which one. So that's the thing that if I have to say good words, forget his shooting, forget all this stuff. I'm saying he's coachable because he had the Bobby Knight coach early. So every coach from here can't break him. If you had this nice little coach who, hey, good job, hey, and then you get hit with that type of coach who's they don't give no leash, that's where kids lose.
Right.
hunger. That's real.
That's where they lose. They get hurt. This is the first time he got them 10, 11, 9. Sit your ass down there crying. Just don't look at me.
So you said Kansas, you said Texas, you said Nevada, you said New Mexico.
Yeah.
One school I didn't hear you say was the University of Arizona.
Yeah.
In Tucson. So hold on, let's see if we go. Where's that Arizona offer at?
Hey, bro, stop.
Where's
Don't
the
even
Arizona
try that.
offer at?
Don't try that. We already in group chat. It's about, this is why Arizona's better than everybody else. We have a group chat. It's about 31 of us. It's about 31 of us. Coaches, all players. So, we don't want to do collusion around here.
Okay.
We ain't trying to, but Arizona was here first. Arizona was here first.
Okay. So,
Because, Iggy brung it up. Hey, where's Arizona one? Iggy did bring it up first.
So, not going to speak for Elijah, but want to ask you. You have the option to go to college for a year, get an NIL bag, maybe University of Arizona, I don't know if they're breaking bread like that, or go to the G League for a year, because the NBA still got the one and done situation. All right, but okay. I see your face.
No, you said Arizona ain't breaking bag like that. Just because y'all didn't get paid.
We did not.
We did not miss meals
No
where I was
bread.
from.
No bread. We got free subs at Sappy's, that was it. And I ain't snitching. Subs were decent. Sometimes they were mid. I'm being real. That turkey was a little stale sometimes. But if you had the option, NIL bag, college, for 1 year, half season, you can go get ready for the league, or go play in this G League right now. What would you do?
It's all, I'll lean towards the G League so he can train like a pro to get ready for the pros. I look for advantages, right? Going to college, right? Unless your program allows you not to go to class, then it wouldn't matter to me.
Get on them semesters. You got to go to the semester.
But what I'm
school.
talking about, when you're talking about G League, right? You're training like a pro. So while this kid is sitting in class, you're developing a skill. When you look at, someone fucking built like a unit now.
The kid that played it?
Scoot Henderson, right? Look at the kids in college. They're not built like this man. They're not built like him. So, that's the advantage that he has going in the G League. So that would be my first choice, but it all ends up being what he wants to do.
Brandon, obviously you went overseas.
Yeah.
If you had the option now to come get that NIL bag, also we're going to go to Arizona, follow that legacy of great guards.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna pick the same route, Gil. I think I'm gonna go to the G League, or I'm gonna go overseas.
Okay.
Just because it's the experience, man. It's the experience, the way you're gonna get showcased. The games that you're gonna be playing in. Big minutes. What it takes to win, and be a pro every day. So I think that's the advantage of it still.
And you played overseas. How did those overseas and those crowds compare to NBA crowds?
Overseas is way worse.
Way more
Overseas is
turned
way
up.
worse.
Okay.
Way more turned up. I mean, you got fireworks, flares, smoke, drums, music, I remember we was playing in Greece and we was getting beat by 30, and they was just still partying like it was a close game. I mean, I'm talking about smoke, flares. They were like flicking quarters on the court to hit players in the back of the head and stuff like that. Wow. It was crazy. It was crazy. It was nuts. It was nuts. Some hostile environment.
So now let's talk about a hostile situation that almost could have happened, but didn't. We were leaning towards a lockout, but the NBA, PA agreed on a new 7-year collective bargaining agreement. Either side can opt out after the 6th year. Now, one of the major points of the deal was punishing bread-breaking teams like the Warriors and Clippers by implementing a second salary cap apron. So I think like $17.5 million over the initial cap, and once you're in the tax, they can lose the taxpayer MLE, they can't sign free agents in the buyout market, and they can't move first-round picks that are 7 years away, amongst other situations. So after the deal was announced, Draymond Green, as he tends to do, took to Twitter to offer his opinions on what he thought was a janky deal for major market teams and for the players. So we got some of them tweets. First one, players lose again, shaking my head. Middle and lower spectrum teams don't spend because they don't want to. They want to lose, so increase their spending capabilities just to increase them. They continue to cut out the middle, and this is what we rush into a deal for. Shaking my damn head now this time, never fails. He followed that up, he went on a tangent, he was going hard. Never seen someone go to a table with the assets that make an entire machine go and lose every time. Blasphemous. And the last one was in response, somebody said boycott, sit out the rest of the season. He said, I'm in year 11, bro. It's the younger guys and also those that aren't in the league yet that gets fucked. So, we got 2 former players here, very spicy. How do you feel about that new CBA, and do you agree with Draymond about the teams and the players getting got?
Well, what's the deal? What deal did we take?
Okay, listen. When he says players lose every time, he's correct. I mean, let's just be honest. If you're Adam Silver or you were David Stern, are you really gonna jeopardize this whole machine on not knowing what to expect from a player? Right? No. My hand is gonna be in the players' pockets. If you are in charge, hey, so what do you need as a player when you're retired? Coaching? Want to be big city? That's where that shit comes from, right? So when you think you are standing tall, not realizing Adam Silver and David Stern, rest in peace, have already manipulated those guys to get these deals done. That's why the players lose every time. That's just, I mean, I don't want to throw no names out there, but ask Michael Curry how he got his job after he was done playing in Detroit. Wasn't he a hit captain? There's another one. As soon as he was done, he had another coaching job too.
So you saying there's stuff going on behind the scenes that maybe the average player, rank and file superstars who aren't on that committee.
Man,
So the guys who make the decisions, you saying they're getting some in the back end.
Fuck yeah.
So that's what. So it's them. So it's the guys
Then
at the
listen,
top.
man, listen. You never go into war not knowing the other side's blueprint. You're going to get them blueprints, right? You're going to get them blueprints. I'm not going into some shit blind. No.
So how do we change that?
We're going to talk about that in a second. First, I want to ask you, just to Draymond's point, NBA always talks about competitive balance, but it seems like all talk, right? So should teams like the Warriors and Clippers be punished for overspending, or should teams that underspend to tank be punished? Because right now, you tank, you have a nasty season, your punishment is the #1 pick. And this year's a guy like Wemby who could be a franchise changer. So you're basically bringing them to an environment and a culture that's literally built upon losing. So how come those teams don't get punished for putting out a nasty product?
Because probably, I mean, usually they're most of the teams are probably small markets, so they're not really bringing in that much money anyways. Overall, if you think about it like that, like the teams that are in the lottery are not usually like big name, like big market teams. I mean, you might get the Knicks.
Yeah,
you know,
you get the Knicks, Lakers occasionally if they're on a downtrend, but
other than that, I think it's always still the same teams.
It seems like no other industry besides sports, like the worst like tech company don't get the best tech people, right? If you're bad, you go out of business. That's just kind of how it rolls, where they try to elevate and prop these teams up. But it seems like some teams are more concerned with just losing and still getting more draft picks as opposed to actually building a product. And some of them are small market teams, but then you look at teams like the Bucks, who built up the squad during the draft, and now, can win championships. What you think?
About the teams that are at the bottom?
Yeah, just in general with this kind of CBA and all this stuff going on.
That's just the nature of it, right? There's 30 teams. I mean, before the play-in, there was 8 going in the playoffs. 7 are going to suck. If you're at the bottom or if you're even in between, what are you supposed to do, right? Like, you're not going to want to stay there year after year. There's teams right now, even like there's good teams like the Bulls that are going to have to make a decision soon. Like, as good as we are with Zach and DeMar and Vooch, right? Do we blow this up? Because it's not getting it done, right? 9-10 spot. If you're Detroit at the bottom, shit, you got to tank. You have no choice, right? I mean, you're going to go for the 7-year kill at that point, right? You're not going to go for the 3 years of being whatever. And the Raptors are going through this right now, right? Where they got out of the slums. They were in the slums when you were in the league, right? That shit was depressing. They got out and they reached the pinnacle. They broke the ceiling, right? Now they're back at it. It's like, okay, do we go back down for a few years and build, or do we stay where we are? So I think, there's certain teams that it's a business and they got to do what they got to do, right? I mean, Detroit has to tank. They've lost. They need a Wembanyama to go to the place that the Bucks eventually got to. So the formula has worked. So I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I've really never understood, and it's only in sports, that you reward losing.
Yeah.
That's the only thing in this world that you are rewarding someone for being horrible, right? And the concept to me personally is just like there's no reason. Like, we've seen what Darnell Sterling did, right? To those business owners, he forget Jerry Buss, right? Darnell Sterling, as a businessman, was their idol. Fuck what they tell y'all. He was the idol. He was I can sit here, get 1, 2, 3 draft picks, let them play to their rookie contract, get rid of them. So the most I'm paying is $5-6 million at a time. I'm not paying no $50 million, I'm not paying no $100 million contract. I don't give a shit how many fucking awards you win, you're out of here. As a business, man, that is a perfect situation for you. But this is a sport too, where people's legacies is on the line. So why are we rewarding winning? Like, if you were a loser, if you're in last place, you should fucking be penalized. That shouldn't be last place, you should get 6 automatic. Number 6, that's your number. As a last place, you will not fight you do not want to be last place in my world.
I mean, you played overseas. The thing I love about overseas, they got relegation, right? So the bottom teams, they finish in the bottom. They got to go down to the B League and work their way back up. Obviously, NBA is not structured like that, but it seems like, to your point, I can't just make Wemby go to this trash-ass team that hasn't shown me that they have any desire to ever be good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, technically, he does want to go to a trash team so he can play, right? It helps the players in that situation, but at the end of the day, how are you rewarding last? Right? How are you rewarding last? If last is, no one wants to fucking be last at nothing in life.
No.
But sports, right?
Yeah.
But sports. Yeah, last place is good. Yeah, because I get to be first place in the draft. Fuck no.
Has the play-in helped this, though?
Huh?
Has the play-in helped this?
No.
Because you got 10, 12 that are now gunning for it.
Yeah, but then you got teams
Gunning
like the
for
Mavs.
what? For 8th?
For 8th, 9th, 10th. Try to get into play-in.
But do they, I still don't understand the concept. If I'm 12th place but I make the playoffs, am I finishing 8th on my record, or do I still hold 12?
Or if you're the 10th team, where do you finish?
If I'm 10,
Oh, yeah,
if
yeah.
I'm 10 and I get 8,
Yeah.
now do I get the draft as an 8th seed or a 10th seed?
Good question.
Because I do not want to be a 10th seed finally trying to play good, and then now I'm an 8th seed at the wrong
Just to go
time.
get smacked in the.
Yeah.
Because if I'm Lakers, right,
Yeah.
and I'm the 8th seed, and I
But
get
you're
pushed out, and I'm the 10th seed, and I get that 10th seed pick, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some of the other major deal points. So this one I know y'all have some opinions on. 65 game minimum for player awards. So it comes with some conditions, but they haven't really said what those conditions are. And there's agreement between the NBA and NBPA now that those all NBA teams will be positionless. So I know a guy like Embiid is probably smiling at that, where now you're not locked into the 2 guards and the forward spots. So do you think 65 games threshold is fair to all NBA level players?
65, yeah.
Yeah.
You rolling with it?
That's what separates you from the rest of the field, because you can sustain your greatness longer. That's the difference between a superstar and an all-star. 10 to 15 games. So if you can't play 65 games, then you don't deserve no fucking award.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree. I think
I know you're big on that. Get your ass
65
out there.
65 is an all-star. So if a regular ass all-star, a top 24 player, number 24, if he plays all 65 games, if a superstar was there, he would not make that fucking team still. Now he's...
So let's just say hypothetically, guy starts the season off, misses 25 games. He's already out of contention.
Good.
Yeah.
But he's averaging 40.
Oh, well.
Tough shit? Okay.
Yeah, because injuries happen.
I mean, if I score 102 games straight and then sit the rest, am I the leading scorer of the league per average? No. Fucker, you don't qualify.
Right.
You got to be able to just...
You rolling with it?
So I got a little deep take on this. These guys are operating as just straight killers and hoopers. You should be out there. They played in a different league. The game was a half-court game. It was slowed down. You got time to recover within a game, possession to possession. I have a whole different take. I think analytics has sped this shit up beyond, I think it's damaging their body as well, because you don't get that recovery, bro, game to game. The season should have got shorter. That's what they should have done. The season should have got shorter, and they should have had like a 50-game limit, right? The 50-game minimum. I don't see superstars. I was looking at this yesterday. I don't see these superstars, especially vets. The regular season has become survivor for these guys with their body, with the way the game is being played, with how much they're operating on the perimeter. You got 7-footers like AD, KD, moving with guards for the course of a game, closing out, rotating. It's tough, man. It's taxing on the body, especially for guys that have that mileage. LeBron didn't play 55 games yet. AD hasn't hit 55 yet. Dame, PG haven't hit 60. Harden hasn't hit 60. Like, you're looking at a group of superstars and veterans that I don't even think it's possible to hit 65 anymore.
Well, that's because they're deconditioned.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I've watched NBA. I watched NBA practices and stuff. That is not practice anymore. They're coming in. They're doing shooting drills with the coaches, 15, 20 minutes. Their bodies are not even in shape to move like it used to.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Like it's just like us going
agree.
out there and playing. Yeah. We're gonna hurt ourselves.
But they're training different in the offseason. They're training more.
They're not training at all.
Yeah, they're not training. I don't think they're training at all.
Individuals. I'm saying
They're
individuals.
not training at all anymore.
They're getting their strength in for 45 to 60 minutes. No.
Man, I used to run 5 miles a day to get ready for in shape. Like, I used to do bleacher work.
Yeah.
Right?
Sand dunes.
Now, they're saying the game is played faster. Correct. But if you take a guard, if you follow a guard, we were running about 2.1 miles per game.
Right.
We did about 2.5 miles. These guards are doing a mile 5 at best. The reason why is the 3-point line to the 3-point line is fucking shorter.
You guys also play
than
40 minutes.
Layup and guarding someone coming for a layup.
Yeah.
So think about what I'm saying. Right. 3 to 3, right?
Yeah.
He's coming down shooting 3. He's coming down and shooting 3. Versus I'm attacking all 94 feet and guarding someone coming 94 feet. So we were moving further than the group. That's what I said. It's a mirage of the thinking. These guys are just not in the peak shape they used to be. When you're talking about Michael Jordan jumping and doing what he was doing, plus partying and all that, and you're looking at today's guys and you're sitting at home playing video games all day, no practice. You guys have the most rest. Yeah. The most rest because everything is, we got to protect your legs, we got to protect.
Load management.
So it's load managing, but think about when you take 3 or 4 days off of shooting.
Yeah.
Right? Your body's aches more. It's all this. It's not ready to fire. And that's what That's what I've seen.
But I'm thinking from a standpoint of the way the game is played, Brandon. Like you guys as guards to move, like you're saying, from 3-point line to 3-point line. They're accelerating, decelerating at a rapid level. Why do you think guys like Towns and AD they're not? It's not natural for their body to do that, right? You're talking about guards, sure. I'm talking about wings. I'm talking about 7-footers. Like these guys' bodies are, in my opinion, and it's happening in no avail. Like I think this shit is. The way the game is being played, I think is messy. I think it's taking a toll on certain guys' bodies. Guys that have mileage, guys that are longer limbed and bigs are being forced to play this small brand of basketball.
I think it's easier though. I think it's easier because, like you said, you ain't got to go all the way down the court. Half of them don't even touch the paint. Like think about it, they're just. If we can run 3-point line, and go, I'm gonna be in shape all day. That's nothing. But having to go up and down and then picking up 94 feet, like guys are guarding at half.
This is the thing about it. Like if I can come down and just shoot a 3, right? And then Steph Curry comes out and shoot a 3, so neither one of us ever gets past the free throw line. I don't what the fuck I need a sub for.
Well, they're playing pickup, that's for sure.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
easier.
It's harder when I have to go in, lay up, and do all this, and then come back with a guy like Dwayne Wade coming at me, spin moving, cutting through, and then I got to come get hit. It's a harder game where after games, if I felt I didn't get enough running, I was on an elliptical.
Yeah.
Like it was like when you're talking about we had body weight. There's players that had body weight stuff in. Like you're talking about lifting before games. Mm-hmm. You're talking about like there's no such things as days off.
Yeah.
Like coach says, all right, we have a day off, right? I still got to go to a 24-hour fitness and get shots up.
Yep.
I don't have the luxury to rest. I got a demon I got to play the next day. These men, they take 3, 4, 5 days off.
Yeah.
So we talk about load management a lot, but I think the common misconception is that's players. Like players aren't coming in like y'all want to take the day off today. That's teams trying to protect those dudes. I think a little bit of both.
Games? Listen.
But teams trying to protect their investment.
You can't sit me down. You can't sit me unless I want to sit down.
I just don't feel like it's always players walking in like, I don't feel like playing this back to back. Like in AD's case especially, like, AD, we don't want you to play this game. We want to protect our investment. That's what you see.
Hey, I guarantee you say this shit to him. Hey, y'all gonna have a day off, but you only get paid half your pay. I guarantee you, ain't no more motherfucking, there ain't no more management. You try that shit, right? Because you like, listen, if I got let's just say, who's the sorriest defensive team in the league right now? You would know.
Shit, it might be Dallas right now, bro.
Okay, so I get to play Dallas score 45. Yeah. Who's the number 1 defensive team?
Milwaukee.
All right, and then I got Milwaukee the next game. And coach says, you gonna load manage you? Hell yeah! If I get to play offense against the worst defensive team and dodge these, fuck yeah! I'll do that every fucking time, and I get paid. Shit yeah! But that's what it's. If you start penalizing, say, hey, listen, you can take the game off if you want, but half the pay. Players ain't taking that off.
Right.
But I'm paying you not to come to work. Hell yeah, you're gonna say yeah. Mm-hmm. Fuck yeah, right? Yeah. Shit, fuck yeah. I ain't got to guard that motherfucker today. You know management.
You know what's
Love
crazy?
this new basketball.
I would be in crazy shape today. Like playing today, I would just stay in shape and just shoot jumpers.
Shoot jumpers.
That's it. Just stay in shape the whole summer. I would just run, just stay in shape, just make sure I can last longer than anybody out there.
So what's changed though, and just speaking with trainers and stuff, is players are approaching the offseason differently. It's their strength workout is huge. They're maintaining they're building their posterior chain, their glutes, their hamstrings, their back, their core, their upper body. That's like a 45, 60-minute session. It's different from training has changed from the way you guys train. And I think that was the right way to train, the way you guys were doing it, no doubt. But I think, there's extra precaution being taken.
Yeah.
When you know what I mean? Like it's unnecessarily being taken to a point where it's like, you got to prepare these guys now for this melee of threes and layups. Up and down, up and down. It's a whole different game, which requires a whole different style of training, which requires a whole different type of recovery, right? So.
But why do you think they're getting hurt so much?
I think the game is broken.
No, but that's what I'm saying. You have the most precaution in the offseason, the most precaution during the regular season. You have the best technology, the best trainers, and you guys are playing less games now.
Yeah, no doubt.
And that's because your body's like,
It's in the mind.
You ever seen a dude at the gym, right?
Yeah.
Where they got abs, 2% body fat, and then you ask, hey, how much cardio you doing? I don't do no cardio. I don't do no cardio.
Yeah.
That's their summer workout.
Right.
They're lifting, burning the fat, looking like show horses, but they can't move.
Can't move.
That beautiful car is sitting right there and it don't got no fucking engine in it.
Yeah.
And, for versus like doing sand workouts and, going to, was it Runyon? And going to Runyon Canyon and running up hills and getting your body used to that type of movement. It's more of a show. It's a show body than a body that actually is mobile.
The pretty muscles, not the functional ones.
Yeah.
Right? All right, so let's talk about another part of the deal, in-season tournament. So it'll include pool play games that are baked into the regular season. Starting in November, 8 teams will advance to a single elimination tournament in December. The Final Four is allegedly going to be held at a neutral site. Some people are thinking Vegas for that. And players on the winning team, I believe, get a $500,000 bonus for winning that in-season tournament championship. So I want to ask both of y'all first, what are y'all thoughts on the in-season tournament? And do superstars give a shit about that $500,000 bonus?
Well, $500,000, that's a game check for some people, so probably not. I think they should bump it up a little bit.
Because it's supposed to be $1 million. I think that's what Draymond was mad about too. Y'all said $1 million. We got $500K, so y'all literally fucked us out of $500 off top.
I think they should spice it up. They should give them $1 million, and whoever wins it get a top 5 pick in the draft.
Okay.
You get an automatically top 5 pick in the draft.
I like that.
That would make it competitive.
I love that. I love it because of you're trying to offset October, November, right? You're trying to offset so it's great. Everyone starts off great, right? Now, if you are a good team, it actually forces you to come out the gates hard. Because if you win that in-season tournament, you can be a good team and get rewarded. See, right now we're rewarding losing and penalizing winners. That's what we're doing, right? We're penalizing winners. This is something where you can reward someone for what you're trying to do. You're trying to have everyone start off great. Well, then you need to reward the team that does. So whoever wins gets a top 5 pick, which means one of them bottom teams automatically go to 6.
Yeah.
That's why I say last place. So that makes sense. That last place, whoever comes last place, you're automatically 6. Now you have real basketball. Now think about this. Let's say number 29 and 30 are playing each other in the last game. That is going to be the most watched, sorriest game ever. Them motherfuckers are they're about to be out there fist fight like shit. There's no going home. Like when you on a bad team.
Yeah.
That last week and a half, you done shipped all your cars.
That last month.
You done shipped. You count days, and they got 365 more hours, 16 seconds. You start doing that shit. Now, you're not sitting your fucking players no more. They know Luka and all that. They ain't no fucking sitting because you don't want to be. You don't want to be last no more.
I guess the question I have for y'all is just thinking about it. Now, I'm a superstar on these teams. Is it beneficial for my squad to get a higher draft pick now, potentially be able to draft my replacement?
If you're that fucking insecure, get the fuck off the team.
I'm just telling you.
Get the fuck off the team. If you're that insecure, if you are a star player, bro.
But I'm saying,
you are a star player.
We
you
tell
are
team in the league, I know that 29th, 30th pick ain't coming in with no smoke. Now we get that 5th pick, 6th pick.
So you are a star player worrying about a fucking rookie.
I'm not. I'm just telling you with.
Get your fucking game up. Get your game up. Why am I worrying about a rookie coming in?
That's
like
real.
that's if it's a top 5 pick, he still got to go through me for my position. That's how you should be. I always thought that someone was taking my position in the summer. That's how I trained. When I went to training camp, I was in shape. Like I'm not using training camp to get in shape. No, I'm big dog right now. We gonna run. Let's run. I'm trying to let you know, bitch, you don't got no chance to this.
So follow up to that. Now let's say you're a player on the squad and you about to enter free agency the next year. Do you give a fuck about helping that team you about to leave get better?
I'm on a winning team?
You're on a team in that tournament, but you're going to be a free agent. You might not be coming back there anyway.
That has nothing to do with you. You're a free agent. You playing for yourself anyway.
I'm about to say.
So
that.
you just
So it really don't matter.
I'm playing for myself.
Okay.
That's
No,
yeah.
I mean, I'm playing. That's what a free agent does anyway. The old Tim Thomas.
Yeah, and also, I think you sending a message too to the league, like in that playing championship tournament, like just let people know, like we ain't playing this year.
But if the bag was bigger too, would that be something that would? So instead of that $500K, let's say
$1 million for sure. $1 million.
if it was $1 million, so 500, but $1 million, like all right, I'm gonna go out here.
Wait, so this is extra on top of what I already get?
Yeah, you get an extra $1 for these 4 games.
Yeah.
I don't think no one gives a fuck at that point because I'm already getting paid one check and then I get another one if I win. 500, 200, 100 is trick off money any goddamn way, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Not for everybody.
not for everybody. I mean, okay. So the star players really don't care. This is not going to be a star player problem. This is going to be
Bench player
the
problem.
bench player problem because if the star player is like, man, fuck this game tonight. Oh, nigga, we got a problem. We got a problem. Hold on, man. I need this $500,000.
Yeah.
But if you promised the players $1 million and they thought they were going to the table with $1 million to change to 5, I can see that's where the problem is.
Yeah, for sure.
I can see it.
It's 500, no matter how much
but at
break
the
you
end of
got.
the day, I mean, I still got to play this game anyway. I just think the winner should be rewarded more than money. There should be it should be a draft pick, a top 5 draft pick. Like now you're talking about building dynasties. And, because you're not rewarding winning right now. So, who would have been number 1 midseason? That would have been Boston, right?
No, I think it's based on previous year, if I'm not mistaken. Or I got to look into it. 'cause
Yeah, wait. It's not going into the season?
it might be where you slated out in that season.
This season. Not the shit before.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it is. Yeah.
Yeah, so like top 8.
It's where you are in the moment.
Where you are at that
Yeah,
moment.
so 4 teams and 4 teams. So let's say like Boston would have won it, right? Boston would get a top 5 pick this year. That changes how they approach the summer.
Yeah, they're going.
Right.
It has something to do with playoffs too, like an automatic bid in the playoffs. Like if you win it, some with the playoffs you should get like home court advantage.
Yeah.
Home court advantage is important.
I'd be hot as hell if they went. Let's just say they're the number 1 team and they win it, and then you become the number 1 team, and then you got to play them, and you got to be a road team. Yep. Shit, no.
That'll make you want to.
Make you want to win early.
So let's talk about a couple other points in this deal, then we'll move on. So NBA players will now be able to invest in NBA and WNBA teams under the new CBA. Players can also invest in sports gaming and fantasy ventures, not betting on games, but investing in the company. Shout out Underdog Fantasy. Woo, woo. If I was in the league currently, that's where I would invest my bread.
Yes, sir.
Because they really believe in you. And I like the platform.
Oh, hey, I'm for sure hitting a whole bunch of players. Hey, man, I need you to go ahead and throw a couple mil this way, baby.
And as well as cannabis businesses. So, and then the most important thing, Gil, if you want to get the smoke machine ready, I'm gonna give you a second. Where'd it go? Okay. NBA is not testing for weed no more. Yes.
I didn't smoke.
But you have smoked. If you did, Gil.
I've never smoked though.
But if you did, you would appreciate it.
Oh, okay.
It's bigger than you.
So no more drug program.
So I think when the bubble started, they kind of pushed it to the side. And
I was in the weed program. They caught me.
They caught you.
I said, yeah, put me in there.
But listen,
Hey, shit, I felt one in college. I'm gonna be honest.
listen, the weed, all of it's some bullshit. To be honest, before I came in the league, right? And actually, when I came in the league, they were testing once a year, one time, before the season, right before training camp, and then they didn't test you again until next training camp. So when you talk about 80s and 90s and shit, all right, don't fucking blow your mind on the possible shit that they can take to stay in shape, all right? There's some strong motherfuckers out there, right? There was some people running through walls. There was some drugs out there that they can use to do that and you wouldn't have noticed. Okay, so let's just stop that 80s shit again. Yeah. And then they put in drug testing 4 times.
4 times in the season,
4
2
times in the
the
season. Well, let me break down how that worked. It wasn't as all what we think. Because of the drug program, when they went into arguing, players are like, well, some of us are addicted. We're addicts. Right? They use that shit, right? So it's like, how can you be an addict? We're paying you 50, 20 million a year. How can you say you can't stop this? They're like, all right, I give you 20 million to stop drinking coffee and smoking cigarettes for cigarette smokers. It took them owners 2-3 minutes to think about what he said and say, yeah, I done tried 2-3 times to break my habit and I can't. All right, so this is what we're gonna do. And it was a fucking loophole. The loophole was this, and this is what most of the players did. Not like him, he just got caught. He just got caught. The smarter players, the smarter ones, all they did was when they found out they were getting tested, they just consumed so much THC, went into test and said, hey, I'm an addict. I'm an addict, which means that test does not count against you. All you have to be now is lower than the levels that you were, like you're getting better. So you're raising your hand, Sam, I'm drinking, I'm fucking partying. If I know I'm testing tomorrow, I'm partying with Snoop Dogg and Wiz Khalifa tonight. I'm getting all fucked up. And then I'm going there, test it, they test the P, whatever that level is, all you have to be is lower than that, and you're getting better as a player.
They just gave me a warning, and I was just like, yeah, put me in.
Think about it. They just took it off. When was the last time you heard someone get suspended for fucking weed?
Nah, it's been so long.
15, 20 years ago, we even seen players get caught publicly with weed.
Right.
Yeah.
Watch them. We can see you at the airport with weed.
Yeah.
And no found weed in you. There's no. I'm in the program. Hey, I'm hype.
So last question on this subject. Right now, CJ McCollum's president.
No, we're not going to just skip over the most important part.
Oh, you want me to hit it?
What?
2011 lockout?
Fuck no, what you talking about?
What you talking about then?
I'm talking about investing in the team.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that is big. That is huge. Yeah. For Lakers,
Warriors,
Knicks, Boston.
I'll say the Raptors.
Yeah, for sure.
The Raptors.
It's interesting to see now because Draymond made that point when he first came to the league. I think the Warriors were valued at like $500 million. Now they're worth somewhere close to $8 billion.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen the Suns, same situation. Bucks, I think when that ownership group came in, they paid like $500-600 for it and sold it for what, 3 or 4, whatever that number is. But now these teams, I'm going to say they plateaued, but how much more can the Warriors go up?
It doesn't matter. And if you're an owner, right? And I said, because I tried to invest into the Wizards with APPAREL and you couldn't as a player, right? And this is what's going to happen, right? When you're talking about penalizing these great teams, right? These winning teams, you can offset that with investments now. So, Draymond's up, right? How much is he going to be worth? 200, 225?
Maybe even 300.
Maybe 300, right?
You think Draymond's going to get 300 in the open market?
Oh, right now? No. I thought you were talking about his net worth overall.
No,
Okay.
right now.
Just his
is
net
open
worth?
market?
Yeah.
No, open market.
Oh, shit.
Oof.
That's a good question.
200? Let's just say 200,
No,
right?
I don't think he'll get 200.
Yeah.
No.
150?
140, maybe 120.
Okay, we'll just say, just
120.
120. That's in 120, right?
Yeah.
4 years, 120. Does Draymond need that money? Nope. No.
Not need.
No. Draymond don't need it, right? Mm-hmm. All right, since you don't need it, and this goes against my salary cap, how about this? We'll invest $100 million into the Warriors, and I'll pay you $5 million for the 4 years.
I don't think they'll be able to do that, though.
Why not?
Why not?
He's going to have to take his bread and...
No. Says who?
So do it like baseball.
Says who? Fuck your salary cap. I don't need that salary cap anymore. I got invisible fucking money now. I don't need no outside investors. I can have all NBA investors investing in my team, and I don't have to spend not a fucking dime anymore. Coldest shit on the planet that just happened.
We'll see.
That's tough.
LeBron James.
That's tough.
LeBron James can have his whole contract as an investment, and now you have a fucking problem. If LeBron is up next year and don't have to take $1, you can replace.
But I think they'll still do it where you got to take the contract, and what you want to do with that bread after is up to you.
You don't have to. You don't have to do shit.
That's tight. That's tight.
What I'm
It's
saying
gonna
is,
get grimy.
That's hard. If you can,
you don't. I'm the owner. You're the player.
Yeah.
Who's watching these people's accounts? I can tell you. I can walk up to you and tell you, hey, your whole contract. Come in here. You just take $1 for 4 years.
Guys will be billionaires, bro. Like,
Yeah.
if they did.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
That's if the contracts go up. I mean, it's all off percentage, right? So that becomes, you're gonna have lawyer. But what I'm saying is, I can devalue my whole salary cap and just open my my team up into my investors, which is players. Lakers, Knicks,
Boston.
Golden State. Them three is gonna rock the NBA if those owners are smarter than.
I mean, I wonder if players have to invest in the team and they're on, or can I invest if I'm on the Magic? Can I invest in the Lakers?
You can do that.
Like fuck yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put this bread over.
If I'm an outside owner, I don't give a fuck about you. I got my own player.
Yeah.
Because I'm worried about because I have my interest is my salary cap now.
Yeah.
My interest is my salary cap. I would never get close to that salary cap anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And then all I'm doing is, now here comes big ass collusion. Hey, Giannis. Hey, Giannis, what's happening? How you doing? This nice ass franchise. You want to see where we are? We're ranked right here in top world teams value. Your $200 million in the Bucks is gonna be worth this in 10 years. Your money in the Lakers is gonna be worth this in 10 years. And all I have to do is just show you fucking spreadsheets.
Yeah.
Come on over here.
Yeah.
That's real.
They got a whole nother
billionaires.
They got a whole nother fucking problem.
Yeah.
They're goofies.
I mean,
I thought of this shit a long time ago.
So doesn't this fuck over the small to mid market teams?
Yep.
Yeah, it does.
But look,
So then
they get the salary cap. They got that invisible salary cap. But it makes it a little fair if you're salary cap watching. Because at the end of the day, these salary cap, these small market owners they're basically, it's like a fix 'em upper team, right? I'm just buying a team and then reflipping it because I can't afford this salary cap versus what I'm bringing in. So, you're talking about, these small market teams. If I can convince the players to take shares versus salary,
yeah.
I don't have to spend any money.
It's about to get crazy.
Well, hopefully Adam Silver and them are not watching this episode, so they don't try
Too
to
late. Too late is 7 years. Too late is 7 years.
It's on.
So players like somebody like Dame, right?
Yeah.
I take whoa, baby, yeah. Hey, look, I take $1 next year. I take $1, $4 for the next. Now you have all the money you was gonna pay me. You can go out and get better players, and I can still go out and get them players and not pay money because I can give. Come on, man, I'll be out there hustling some bitch.
All right, well, let's keep this thing moving. We got to talk about the biggest story of the weekend, coming from women's basketball. LSU's win over Iowa in Sunday's national championship game was the most viewed NCAA women's basketball game ever. 9.9 million viewers. It peaked at 12.6 million viewers. But there was some controversy in the game. LSU forward Angel Reese had a bunch of Mayonnaisians in their feelings. Mayonnaisians, that's my new word for Caucasians. After getting in Caitlin Clark's face.
How are you not canceled?
Mayonnaise, Gil.
You get away with this shit because you're light skinned.
The white people on the show are not offended, so that's all. They are my barometer of morality. But we got to talk about Angel Reese getting in Caitlin Clark's face, hitting her with the John Cena / Tony Yayo. You can't see me. Mm-hmm. See, I remember from the Tony Yayo days.
Yeah.
Oh, nigga, do you? And then also the Ring Me, which some say is Steph, some could say is Aaron Donald. It's been around, but it is what it is. So after the game, Angel had this to say about one of the most controversial moments in sports history.
all year I was critiqued about who I was. Nobody, the narrative, I don't fit the narrative. I don't fit in the box that y'all want me to be in. I'm too hood, I'm too ghetto. Y'all told me that all year. But when other people do it, y'all don't say nothing. So this was for the girls that look like me, that's gonna speak up on what they believe in. It's unapologetically you. And that's what I did it for tonight. This was for it was bigger than me tonight. It was bigger than me. Twitter is gonna go in a rage every time. And I mean, I'm happy. I feel like I've helped grow women's basketball this year. I'm super happy and excited. So I'm looking forward to celebrating in the next season.
And we're happy for Angel. Angel's numbers done rose up. She got over 1 million on IG, got over 1 million on TikTok. I'm a Twitter aficionado. I've seen her Twitter following damn near quadruple in the past couple days. But some Mayo Nations out there weren't as happy with the move. Call Angel an idiot, a thug, classist piece of shit. But like Angel mentioned in the clip, they didn't have any smoke for Caitlin Clark, who did the exact same thing against Louisville. I think she got in Haley Van Lif's grill, hit her with that. And Caitlin Clark even came out today, said she don't think Angel should be criticized. She took her L like a champ. Because Caitlin was out there cooking, I'm gonna be real. 40 pieces left and right. So I'll start with you, Gil. What do you think about the backlash Angel Reese is getting for trash talking Caitlin Clark in the national championship?
Okay, the problem is, who was the beat writer that asked her the question? She just won a fucking championship and you're asking her silly ass questions. That shouldn't be her championship speech. Right? That's how disrespectful writers are sometimes. This is the speech that she has to give after she won a fucking national championship. That's the first problem, right? Second problem is the real credit for this goes to, Tony Yayo, but who brought it to the NBA was LaShawn Stevenson, and I stole it from him, right? And it was, I can't feel my face, right? That's what it was. It was LaShawn Stevenson. He always did this. Okay. But the game is this. In outside world, if you're not a hooper, fuck off, right? Fuck off. This is not your space. So stop trying to have this voice in a space you don't know. If I talk shit to you and then you get the best of me, you're allowed to talk shit. There's no fucking meter of responses, right? Yeah. Was it Caitlin? Right? She's bust everyone's ass this year. Hit them with this. You can't see me all goddamn day. And no one cared then. Now you're caring because it happened to the creator, right? But that's what happens. That's when it's at its best. It's at its best because the creator got a little bit of its own medicine. When Westbrook was doing this, and someone hit his ass with it, it didn't feel too good.
I mean, I think about Pat Bev hitting LeBron with the too small, Austin Reeves about 3 days later.
Hit him with the too small.
Even lower.
Yeah. And that's just the nature of a shit talker, right? You shit talked all year, and you got caught in the most important game. But it doesn't take away from your greatness. It's just that someone hit you with your own shit. That's it. There's no either they both thugs or they both classy. You can't separate them. Oh, she did it at the wrong time in her face. I don't give a fuck.
She did it for longer. It was 15 seconds
longer. I would have did that. I would have did this shit on the podium, in the bathroom, on the bench. Fuck you. Fuck you.
That's the thing. We can't ignore the racial undertones with it, and that's what it feels like a lot. People attacking black women, trying to tell them how to act in moments like that. She just won a championship. She can do whatever the fuck she wants. If you don't want her to do it, should have beat her. It's simple.
I think it was good for the game.
Yeah.
Especially for women's basketball. Mm-hmm. Sure. So now it's this rival. Now you kind of have like that Bird and Magic type thing for women's basketball right now. So I love it. I don't see nothing wrong with it. Like if you're gonna talk, talk.
Like shit, if they're smart, I'm going LSU Iowa season opener, Superdome in New Orleans because LSU won. You got to come out here.
Trash.
You're not gonna watch, Gil?
I hate those type of games as the first game.
You're not gonna watch.
Don't give me my dessert first, bro. No, I do not want my dessert first. Like, let me fucking ease into the Give me 1-2, and then third game. Okay.
That's fine.
okay.
That's
Don't
fine.
give me the game one.
You can get the janky warm ups.
When NBA do the finals in the first, we ain't watching the game like that.
Yeah, the
like,
first-
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I want to see when both are peaking for them to play.
Give him some warm ups. Give him some
You know
warm
what I mean?
ups.
So
I'm
it's-
fine with that.
yeah,
I'm fine with
Christmas,
that.
yeah.
That's how we used to do in college. You had to play the janky exhibition schedule, then you could get Mount Invitation or wherever.
Did you
was
already
at.
make a take on it?
On Reese,
Yeah.
it's cool. Like, it's the nature of the game, right? Caitlin was propped up. She was like presented as that Steph Curry of women's basketball. You know, Reese was kind of, like you said, there's certain players that are more personable, right? And there's certain players that might not be as personable. They can do the same shit. It's a double standard. So that was kind of like a fuck you to the hoops world in a way, or the media, right? Because, like, here's your hero, and, you know, you just got cooked by me. and, you know, in that moment, you guys know you're in adrenaline, right? Especially when you're winning at that level. Can you imagine?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're jacked up, right? There's some emotions you can't control. Maybe she went a little over the top, sure. Maybe she did it for too long, sure. But that's just the nature of competitive sport. And that's just the nature of, you know, battle, just going head to head with another top dog.
Yeah.
You know? And it's just what it is. I mean, people are overreading this shit. Like, you know?
It's like they want it. They want to because, like Steph, right?
Yeah.
When Steph does the turnaround, right? And he be holding his arm up, right? All of those is antics, right? Yeah. Those are, he's not verbally saying nothing to you. His antics are embarrassing you.
Yeah.
Right? I seen the the game before against South Carolina when the girl's dribbling and she did that, right? Like, who is you, right?
Yeah.
Right? That's part of antics, right? That is like when people see, like, people don't really understand as a hooper, right? No matter how great of a shooter I am, you sit back and wave me off. That actually makes me think, like, fucker,
Oh, yeah.
am I supposed to shoot this? Am I supposed to shoot it? Like, I'm confused. And that's why when y'all see Westbrook and y'all see Ben Simmons sitting there trying to, that you made them second guess if this was actually a good shot now.
Yeah.
And they're sitting like,
Good defensive strategy.
right? The most disrespectful shit I've ever seen. Golden State Warriors. Anytime they pass the ball to Steph wide open, that is a disrespectful display of basketball. Here's why. Because they know the shit is going in, right? So now it becomes animation. This is a play I see. The passer passes to Steph, right? In the corner. So he's at the hash mark, top of the three. He passes it. He freeze frame. Like he just sits there. Right? Steph gets the ball. Like you look like the shit was in slow motion. So he's stuck like this, like, Steph gets the ball. Three motherfuckers turn around. Yeah. Right? They turned around. You got somebody, I don't know if it's a coach or that seat where the fan is. He's sitting there like this already. Steph has not even fully caught the ball yet to shoot it. You got three people on this side. They turned around to do what they did, so they all celebrating to the crowd doing this. Then Steph shoots. After he releases, he turns around. Finishes with the guys. I said, oh, this is the most disrespectful shit I have ever seen in my life. Now, what if that ever happened to Steph in the Golden State Warriors? Let's say someone did it in a game winner on Steph. Celebrate it.
Oh, they're going to go crazy.
Oh, they're going to go crazy. They're going
crazy.
Yeah.
I think
Whoever
about
gotta guard Steph
CP3
that
when the
next day,
Rockets
good
went
luck.
up 3-2, hitting them with the shimmy. It was primetime basketball. I was excited to watch the rest of that game. Wish they would have made it 3, but
Chris Paul was doing it, remember?
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's part of the game. Like, if you're an antics person, if you're, like, no one's ever going to antic Kawhi Leonard. You don't say shit.
No.
Right, you know what I mean? There's just certain players that you don't, but like players like players like Luka, he's gonna get mimicked every time someone tries, and B to get mimicked every time someone scores on him because he does animations. You know, Steph, if you can catch him off guard, but it's just part of it. That's just
Did Bron do it back to Deshaun Stevenson back then, or was that Boobie Gibson? There was someone that responded.
No. This response was worldwide. So when he called him overrated, this is a good one.
07, right? Playoffs?
Yeah, so what happened was, so the backstory is Drew Gooden and Deshaun Stevenson, right? You know, they're, was it Oakland Soldiers.
Okay.
On Ebo. Deshaun was a LeBron fan, right? So he's like, man, how was it playing with LeBron? Drew Gooden was like, man, he don't like you. Right? Just saying that, he's just saying it, right? Which fucked Deshaun up, like, yo, that's how he thinks? Like, I'm pretty sure LeBron didn't say no shit like that.
Yeah.
Which made him say, oh, this man's overrated, right? No, he's overrated, this and that. So basically, the comment that LeBron made was, that's like he's Soulja Boy to me being Jay-Z.
Yeah. Ooh.
Well, so I put my little 2 cents in, and I said, all right, it was the playoffs that I was hurt. So I said, all right, call Soulja Boy, have Soulja Boy come to the game. And then, sorry, Bron, I hit Papa John's up, had him make the Crybaby 23 shirts. I said, well, I'd fuck him up. He's God. He does not want to see this type of negative energy towards him. So they had the Papa John's 23. You'll see people on the shirt if you Google Papa John 23 Crybaby James. It had his shirt. Kind of threw him off his game. We end up winning. Oh, Bron called Jay-Z. Jay-Z was on tour with Mary J. Blige in Phoenix. And
Did the remix.
to make a diss song. Yeah. And they made the diss song Blow the Whistle, right? So everyone's in the club. I'm at home haloing it up, right? I'm in the middle of Halo matches, and my phone's getting blown up. My phone, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Man, Taz and them, they disrespectful, man. And I was like, what happened? And then they had to break down what happened. They said they're partying, Cavs is partying, right? Everyone's in a club, and then all of a sudden lights go out, right? Music. And then they said, spotlight comes on. There's a man with a CD. Yeah, this is back when CDs. CD. And they said, and it's just like, open up. They fucking Damon Jones. Everybody move. They said he move. And like some movie shit. They said a dude with a Rockefeller chain on walking the CD to the DJ booth. Give him the CD, and Damon Jones talking shit. Yeah, it's our city now. And they played that song. They said Karan got so mad that he walked out. I'm never coming to this motherfucker. This our city, and y'all allowed in shit. Never coming to this goddamn club. They said they played that Blow the Whistle about 20 times. 20 times. I'm like, woo, this is a good one.
You lost the series that night.
Yeah, that was all. It was hot. And that's when I think the clothesline came that next day. But it was one of those things where it spilled off the court.
That's crazy.
That was good times, though.
Yeah.
That was good times. That's
a good
That was the best.
That's good.
That was a great playoff series. One of the funnest ones because it spilled off the court. It made the energy between both arenas crazy.
That was crazy.
I think LeBron was so big, Papa John apologized. Then, not this new LeBron, LeBron, early LeBron. LeBron was so big, he had Papa John's apologize. I'm like, damn.
That's crazy.
That's funny.
So let's talk last thing with this women's national championship situation. First Lady Jill Biden said that she was going to consider inviting Iowa to the White House too, in addition to LSU. So gotta ask y'all quickly, should Iowa get the participation trophy invite to the White House along with LSU?
Hell no. Hell no.
Fuck no.
Hell no. What?
They should come too. All teams matter.
Hell no. There we go. We're rewarding losing.
Listen, I get it. Like I'm pretty sure y'all thought Iowa was going to win, but Iowa was not that. They had one player, right?
Yeah.
They had one player. It was
This ain't no one-man show, as Angel Reese said.
This was like Cleveland Cavaliers 2017, LeBron James taking that sorry-ass team to the championship, okay? It was that. That was that team. Like, she was playing phenomenal, right? Most of those girls, I heard one of them, the second best scorer, talking about she's going to Dennis after this. So she knows she's not going to the league, right? So if you're going to invite somebody, you just invite one person, all access behind the scenes to the White House. The rest of that team can sit back home and get better, right? Nah, it's just embarrassing. Listen, You can have dinner with her. The rest of them can fuck off. Like, I'm sorry. They're just not that good. You know?
If Marshawn Lynch didn't get invited after the Seahawks lost the Super Bowl, he should have got the ball, and then
Like,
Iowa can't go.
This was the most watched girls basketball game, right?
Yeah.
WNBA is on 2. You should look at this as an eye opener, and I've said it jokingly, but this actually shows you what your game is missing. Your game is missing the youth, right? By the time your girls get into the WNBA, they're 22, 23 years old, and the future don't know them, right? Paige Buckner, if she got to leave after her freshman year, think about all the jersey sales that she would have sold because all her fans are high school girls that will wear those jerseys. Same thing with these 2 girls. No one's realizing that these girls are gonna sit in college 2 more years. One more year, one is only a sophomore.
Yeah, Angel Reese
she has
only a
2
sophomore.
more years. Think about all the fucking merchandise you will be selling if they were the number 1 and 2 picks in the draft, which they will be, right?
Yeah.
They'd be up there.
Yeah.
They'll be,
Yeah.
right?
Top 5.
No one knows who the number 1 pick is going to be because she's going to be a senior, and no one gives a shit about seniors, right? Right? Like just like in the NBA, no one cares about seniors. You're basically plateaued. So you're missing what the youth is. So if those 2 girls are drafted number 1 and number 2, they will have the number 1 and 2 jersey selling in WNBA. When you're talking about revenue sharing, you're missing the revenue. You're missing the revenue. The young youth does not know who the juniors or seniors are. They don't. It's a big disconnect because when those 22 and 23-year-olds come into the NBA draft, they're women, right? They're dressing exactly like women. They're wearing suits. They're looking professional, which as adults, yes.
Yeah.
15, 16-year-old girls don't want to see that shit. Right? They're like, oh, what is she wearing? She's looking like a grandma. Right? Even though there's just this much removed. So like my 11, 12-year-old, they know Buckner. By the time, Paige Becker. By the time she gets into the WNBA, my child would be worrying about her game. She'd be out of the jerseys and all that phase. Most of Paige's fans will eventually be competitors. They'll be competitors, so they're not going to buy the what's the name. So if we think about 2 years from now, will Reese still have the same name she has now?
Well, that's why I did an interview with Angel before the tournament started, and she's like, yeah, the ultimate dream is to go to the WNBA, but the bread she's making at LSU off the NIL, she's like, I'm not really tripping. I can get this bread here. You know, shit. I bought a sweatshirt. Like, I know the sales just went through the roof. She got the coach deal now. Like her following and visibility is so huge. But it's something that you hope to see. But just shout out to the women's game. And by the way, got to give a shout out to UConn for winning the men's national championship as well. Got to mention you guys as well. 5th title since 1999. Congrats, UConn. You are officially a blue blood, which is an oxymoron in several parts of Los Angeles and hoods around the country.
Who did they play?
San Diego.
I know. I'm just being funny. Who the fuck did they play? That's yeah.
It was funny. Both games were like 17-point wins, but I was locked in for the Iowa LSU game.
So I'm working on my breakdowns. So I watched the highlight and I did a breakdown on UConn. Right. They have horrible spacing.
Yeah.
Their spacing is horrible. Like, you know, they're just better than the teams that they were playing. These last two teams, trash. But I'm just looking at spacing and I'm like, man, you guys should be winning these games by like 30, 40. You know, they got spacing like here. I call clips where you have 8 guys, 9 guys above the free throw line in the middle of your offense. Because they're not running full court, they're just stopping at the hash. It's just like little details as someone that moved a lot, backdooring, slash, and I understood how to use the whole length of the court, right? So when I see wing players running and they stop at the hash, like, bro,
These are the habits that are
go
being
all the way,
game.
go
That's
all the
that
way
new-
down and come back.
That's the new game. That's
Because
the new
when I'm
style.
driving, if you're all the way down, I have more room. If you're at the hash mark, you done cut off a lot of my space.
No doubt.
32 feet. You done fucked up 32 feet because you want to stop at the hash. Like I was forced to run and run under.
Yeah.
Right? So I was like, if you caught it on the wing, I was the other guard that tried to get that pass right under the basket. Yeah. So I always took off and tried to get it. If I didn't get it, I'll go back.
You guys' game was so much more sophisticated, though. Like, the habits of basketball now have been totally just distorted. You know, like, it's not how basketball is meant to be played. That's what I always talk about, right? It comes back to the analytics influence, right? You got these guys in the front office that didn't really hoop. They're preaching threes and layups, right? Within that, what happens, it takes away so much creativity. It takes away so much grit. Takes away so many little instinct things that you would do as a basketball player, right? All that is out the window now because you've computerized, and it's like an algorithm now. When you watch basketball, especially when you watch the NBA, I mean, yeah, college looks bad spacing-wise, but I was kind of like, yo, this is refreshing. Like, they got to go figure it out now. There's problem-solving involved, right? And it's a tighter three-point line, so it's like, okay, you know, I almost feel like the way the NBA game is played now, it's like a glitch. Of course, threes are worth more than twos, right? We always knew that. But we lost the low post game. That's gone. The bruisers are gone. Bruisers made games more exciting. You know, when you had like, who's a bruiser that you played with? Like,
I had Danny Fortson. I had Evans. You had Evans.
yeah, Reggie Evans.
Reggie Evans, fuck.
Like those guys made you really have to go work for every basket, and it brought out another level of a Brandon Jennings or a Gilbert Arenas because they had to go find a different dimension of their game. Whereas now it's like pickup, like you could just walk a guy down, create off the dribble, like that's easy, right? Yeah. You know, no disrespect, I'm not an NBA pro, but that's easy shit for you guys, right? And it's like when you lost the grit, the creativity, running sets, like you played in the Princeton, right? Yeah, Eddie Jordan's Princeton. There's so many different options out of that, right? That you would say, oh shit, that was a good call. Oh shit, that was a good read. That's all gone. It's drive, kick, pick and roll, threes and layups. Yeah, you fully optimize the game and the scores are higher, but now you got to do creative shit like, oh, let's introduce a mid-season tournament to make it more interesting. Because we tune out. Because we tune out. The truth is we tune out of games. You watch a game, you start scrolling, because, it's just threes and layups, threes and layups. The worst thing is now the playoffs are going to start, right? Guys that have been battle-tested a bit, like the KDs and shit, they're going to cruise just on, yo, bro, you don't even know how to solve this problem. I did this in 2012, bro. What does this mean for the young guys, though? This is all they know. The new young guys coming into the league, this is all they know, this brand of basketball. So I feel like something's got to change, but it's coming at the front office level. Like, you're putting in, they've gone all in on threes and layups, analytics, basketball, right?
It's really, it's like, I think Jamal Crawford said it best, right? A mid-range is like a jab.
That was on my show, yeah.
Right? Yeah. It's like a jab.
Yeah.
He's 100% correct. If I can fake like I'm going all the way in and you run for it, I can pull up.
Yeah.
Now next time I come, right? You stop, I go by. Right? It's a game. It's like being a puppet master. If I know once you take off, you're only going to the layup, then it's easier to load up, right?
Exactly.
It's easier to load up, if I know, okay, let me just let him shoot the three, right? Knowing he's going to shoot the three. Like the pull-up game, the mid-range, especially when guys really don't want to play defense.
Yeah.
Right? Really don't want, as a offensive player, you need all the elements. You need all the elements of scoring. Yeah. Like when people say, 3-level scoring, that's, for someone like me, that's a basic number. 3, mid-range, layup, right? That's basic, right? You need a post-up game, right? You need a
in-between game
floaters. You need an
runners.
in-between floater game like the Joe Johnson, Tony Parker. Then you need the logo type of game. You need the ISO game. So there's like 5 to 6 levels when you become real creative. Like I was doing a test with someone. I said, hey, who's the best 3-level, 5-level scorer? And I said, the reason I said that is once you put in 3 or 4 levels, it takes out 90% of today's game.
It does.
Because these guys can't play. Like, you'll still have Devin Booker, you have DeRozan, maybe a little bit of DeRozan, you have Kyrie, you have Luka. But for the most, like somebody like Giannis wouldn't be able to make it. No. LeBron wouldn't be able to make it because he rarely goes mid-range at this point. You know, so it has to be like, when you're talking about that's what made Larry Bird great. So when you want to talk about type of players, that's what made Larry great. He had a mid-range, he had a floater, he had a layup package, he had the 3. Like he has these different type of levels to his scoring ability.
Even watching you guys, like you're 60 in Staples or you're 54, like it was, you needed pressure to bring the best out of you. I'm working on my mid-range in the offseason. I'm working on my deep 3. I'm working on my finishing. You needed to be challenged in order to showcase all that. You're 55, 7th game or whatever, like 35-point games. I saw you guys really go into your bag as creators because you were forced to, right? And it diversified your attack. What that did as a fan, it made it so much more fun to watch, but it also showed you who the real cold killers are, right? There's a lot of guys in your era that if you just put them on an island and let them play with freedom, they would have put up crazy numbers. They just never had that opportunity to go do it.
No, that's facts.
They just never had that opportunity.
Every summer at UCLA.
Yeah. But it's also it's also a thing on just you're training yourself, right? When I trained, I tell kids now, have different packages for different type of players, right? Today's game, they're playing with one package.
Yeah.
Right? You can't play basketball with, you can't drive down the same, like your Ferrari, you can't go 90 miles an hour, right?
Yeah.
What happens in traffic? Now you don't know how to move.
No.
Right? So if I'm guarding Kawhi, I have a package for players like him. If I'm being played by, Patrick Beverly, I have a package for players like him. If I'm playing against a smaller guard now I have a post-up package because maybe I can't dribble and do my pick and roll because he's getting under me. So I have to get off the ball and have a back. If I have someone who loves playing tight defense, all right, I got to use my backdooring and fall asleep, take off on them, off-ball type of. You have to have different patterns. And that's why Steph and somebody like Dame at this level is still fucking you up.
Yeah.
Because they've understood that they're not playing the same game against the same type of guards. No. And that's where a lot of the youth needs to understand, like, you can't do the same thing versus everybody. Like, there might be a sorry guy out there who's built, his body build is exactly to stop you.
Guys aren't students of the games anymore. That's the biggest loss of the game too, and why it's like that. Like the appreciating of who came before you and studying the game and training, like all that. That's why guys can't play so many games or this. They don't even not probably really interested in it.
They don't love it like that no more.
Like the details of it.
Yeah.
Like and I some of the coaching probably is not that good either anymore. I don't think they've taken the time. Like my rookie year at Scott Skiles, we would watch film after every game.
Yeah.
Like and be able to critique everything. Now I doubt they really get
It's
that.
almost like the NBA has become AAU, an extension of AAU, right? In the way that it's played. You go to Vegas in July, like you go to Summer League that night. It's the same brand of basketball now.
Yeah.
Right? Whereas you were challenged in college, whole different way. You got to the NBA, it opened up, it was a different game. You went pro overseas, guys aren't seeing different scenarios, different sets, different types of schemes. Yeah. They're just seeing one thing. And it's dumbed the game down, but it's took away guys' creativity. And it's almost took away their greatness because, like you said, they're not studying the nuance of the game. Oh, I'm going to catch this guy sleeping. There's little minute details that are absent. Like, they're just not needed anymore.
There's more. So I always hear you talk about hoopers, right?
Yeah.
There's more hoopers than basketball players now. Like a basketball player understands the full aspect of the game.
And it ruined the thing about being a hooper now. Because everyone's just a hooper now.
Everyone's a hooper.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like
back then.
Yeah.
So the thing about a real hooper back then, right? You needed him when, like, we're in the middle of the playoffs and they fucking know everything we're about to do. That's when the hooper comes in.
Him and Monte went off against Miami.
Yeah.
Did you guys win that game?
No, we lost. No.
Yeah, but like it was like you challenged them in a way, right? It was him and Monte. Like there was guys that would come in microwaves and alter the whole game, right? Yeah. You had that, like there was guys like there was a lot of guys. Jamal Crawford, Lou Will.
Yeah, but those are the guys you need to change the pace when everything is so structured and everything knows. Now everyone's the same. Everyone, you come in, you give them the ball, they go through their whole little routine. Bro,
it's the highlights and all that. It's overrated. Yeah,
I know.
It's like overrated.
It's the game. It's the game.
The game is the game, as
Part of the
they
game.
say.
Everything is inflated. Like they say players are more skilled now. I disagree. Because like you just get to see it more because there's no help side. He's got you on an island and it's freedom. It's pickup basketball.
It's when every time someone says, "Oh, they're skilled," I said, "At what?"
Right.
At what? Are they more mentally skilled?
Right.
Do they understand the aspect of the game skilled? Or you're talking about the part you actually see? That's skilled, right? Yeah. Like I can tell if a guy has a bad limp. I can tell if his arm is a little shorter. Like, when I used to cross over on Jason Kidd, I only crossed over one way because, I don't know if he broke an arm, but it was, it didn't flex all the way. So I know when I crossed over, I had about 3 inches going the other way. I'm going to cross over to that same arm because I know he couldn't poke it. You know what I mean? Like, I know this player got a bad hip. Like, let's just say a righty, right? If I go left, it's easier for the righty to run with me to jump, right? Like, so if I'm going left, I know with a righty, I have certain things to do. Well, when I'm going to my right, it's better to develop a step back because a righty, right? For him to block your shot, he has to turn all the way. He has to actually turn to look at the basket to go.
If you're a righty going right?
So if I'm guarding you, right, for me to block your shot, I have to fully, so you blow by me, I have to fully turn to try to. Now, if you step back, that's why James Harden's step back be so fucking vicious. That's why you can, if you're lefty, you can fuck a righty up.
Every time.
Lillard sidestep.
Every time.
Because I have to, for you, when you take off, I have to fully go. See, if you go left, I can run like this and just jump and block. It's easier for me to recover.
Right.
This recovery, I have to turn and go, and those lefties step back. You be like, God damn it.
Killer every time.
Every time.
Killer every time.
Like if you're gonna make a guy fall, if you're gonna make a guy fall, it's you going right, and when he fully turns, but they're not skilled at that.
It's gone.
Yeah, they're not skilled at that. They're skilled at.
Well, like you said, the levels of offense.
Right.
It's the levels. I like how you levels.
Well, shit, I hope they was out there watching this and taking notes. But that's our show for today. Agam, we appreciate you pulling up, brother.
Yes, sir.
Keep doing your thing. Follow him at Ball Don't Stop.
Ball don't stop.
Appreciate you, Brandon, for coming through. Appreciate you, Underdog Fantasy. Woo, woo. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
Yeah.